Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Court Cutting TV, Buforge Tax Preparation, Bravos Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Monzon Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. I should say iced coffee and headlines. It is a pleasure to welcome you today. It is Wednesday, and it is July the 2nd. And I have interesting things to share with you. We continue with a few news notes, and we have more cheese exploration. And we're going to talk about some pesky little critters that tend to come out in the rain season. I'll tell you who they are, what they do, and why we shouldn't be afraid of them. Of course, you're bound to step on them because that's what we do, and they crunch, and it's disgusting, but they're completely harmless. Let us get started, as usual, with my announcement. If you have some important questions to share with us later on, please add a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment. If you're watching live for the first time, it'll be a pleasure to welcome you. So please add a capital letter N as in new, and we'll give you a nice little welcome. So we get started with a black screen. How convenient. Let's convert this into a news screen. And it is not working for me. Why is this happening to me? This is the second day in a row that I cannot show you what I have prepared for you. Let me see if I can do some trickery. I hate it when technology disappoints me. Let's try that. Nope, that is not working either. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to read you the news without showing you pretty pictures. Please don't hold it against me. I want to tell you, first of all, that back on Monday, we told you about the beginning of the construction of the Amado Nervo Bridge. This is the final connection that we expect will improve traffic between Bahía de Banderas and Puerto Vallarta. And it was supposed to start construction on Monday after a short delay. And now we learned that it did not start. It hasn't started, and it probably won't be started for a while. You see, we learned today that the government is scheduled to determine the construction company that won the bidding process on July 15. So chances are that whichever company that wins the bidding is not going to be ready to get started with the construction of the bridge the day after. So when will the Amado Nervo Bridge begin construction? We don't know, and that's okay. Moving right along, I also discovered that the tree adoption campaign that we announced a couple of weeks ago has begun. The first event took place at Puerto Vallarta's main plaza, where 45 different trees were adopted. Future events are scheduled to take place at Las Palmas, at Boca de Tomates, at Mojoneras, and at Mismaloya. Unfortunately, I have not been able to find a place online or a news item that reveals where and when these events are going to take place. And that is unfortunate, because I'm sure if we knew ahead of time that this is happening, we would be able to help in amplifying the message and promoting it accordingly. And of course, we have to follow up on Flossie, who is now a Category 3 hurricane. It is presently located right in front of our coast. You wouldn't know it. It is sunny and bright out there. And that's okay. We like that. We did not want to be completely distracted by a hurricane named Flossie. At least I didn't. And now the hurricane is heading west out into the ocean. So it will bring some rain. However, that's going to be the amount of it. Can I show you? No, I cannot. Okay, so I need to take care of something going on with my system. So I won't be able to show you the weather today either. Purim pum pum, but I will take a look at it on my screen so that I can talk about it. It's 28 degrees right now. Humidity is at 80 per. Oh my God, that means I cannot show you the cheese pictures? That's not good. I'm going to have to do that manually. I'll figure out a way to do it. It's 28 degrees out there. Humidity is at 80%. And our weather forecast for today says that we're going to have rain in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 62%, a high of 31 and a low of 25. Then tomorrow, Thursday, we can expect rain in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 66%, a high of 31 and a low of 24. And then on Friday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. A chance of rain of 85%, a high of 32 and a low of 25. So in a nutshell, we are going to have a very wet week. Now, let me start now by telling you, see, I really need to show you this photograph because otherwise it's not going to make much sense. Let me see how I can trick my system into letting me do what I want to do now. Do. Uh-huh. I cannot show you what I want. Or can I? No, I cannot show you what I want. Okay, then let me try something else. I'll be darned. I'll be darned. Do. Okay, I want to show you a photograph of these little creatures. Let me see if I can do this different way. I'm going to turn this into one of those, and I'm going to... No. Okay, so I am being completely sabotaged by my own computer. So I'm going to talk about cuclines tomorrow. No, I'm going to talk about them today because I can do this. Because you are Puerto Vallarta English-speaking locals and you've seen them. It is now raining. It is raining. And if you look down at your feet, crawling around your porches and balconies, you're bound to find these brown, chubby, clumsy, noisy little scarabs that appear this time of year. They're beetles, and they're called cuclines, and they are absolutely harmless. In fact, they're good for the environment. These beetles spend most of the year buried in their larval stage, underground, taking care of our soils, eating plants and vegetables, cleaning the ground, and then when they come out, which is during the rain season, they are everywhere. They're easy to punt, but you don't want to be punting them. They have clingy feet. They will get stuck in your clothes. If you pick them up, they will attach themselves to your fingers, but they don't bite. They don't sting. They don't do anything harmful. They just appear at this time of year. Now, we know them as cuclines, but there are these other names by which they are known. They're known as cacahuates. They're known as combos. But probably, particularly if you're gay, the most popular name for these little beetles is mayates. And the word mayate is precisely a beetle, but it is also used in the gay vernacular to refer to a man who is primarily heterosexual, but occasionally enjoys a little bit of boy love. And mayates should not be confused with chichifos, who are the men that actually charge for the privilege and may not necessarily even enjoy the deed, but it happens. As long as we're on the subject, a lot of people think that the challenge of HIV in Mexico has mostly to do with the gay population, and it does. But one of the biggest concerns, at least in this area, I've heard this from specialists, is women, married women, that all of a sudden appear to be HIV positive. They have no idea how they got infected. And oftentimes it has to do with their husbands, which have gone out to, you know, do the mayate thing, and they come home. So I don't know how we ended up in this place, but we did. I want to talk about cheese. I just don't have beautiful photographs to show you because my computer decided to hijack me, and that's okay. The cheese that I want to showcase today, and I can show you photographs of the cheese tomorrow. The cheese that I want to showcase today is Queso Chihuahua, or Chihuahua cheese. And it is such called because, of course, it originated in Chihuahua. But at the same time, it also is a cheese that has strong European influences. Back in the 1920s, colonies of Mennonites coming from Holland and coming from Germany settled in the state of Chihuahua. And how they got there and why is a completely different story. But they introduced European cheese making techniques and combined them with Mexican cheese making techniques to come up with this beautiful cheese called Chihuahua, although it's also known as queso menonita, or Mennonite cheese. You can find it from the source. There are certain times of the year in which the Mennonites can be seen standing at important intersections around the city, selling their products, their artisanal products. For the life of me, I cannot remember what time of the year that happens. So for the rest of the year, you can safely go to your supermarket and find Chihuahua cheese. It is a soft, mild yellow, very flavorful cheese. And its primary characteristic is that it is melt friendly. But unlike Oaxaca cheese, which melts and continues to be kind of stringy, the beautiful thing about Chihuahua cheese is that it turns creamy when it melts. So it is perfect for stuffing uh, peppers, for chile rellenos. And it is absolutely essential if you go to a restaurant and get an order of queso fundido, which is, Mexican fondue. You take Chihuahua cheese, you melt it, you add chorizo, you add salsa, and you end up with this very creamy concoction, which you pick up with a spoon and just put on a warm tortilla, which can be flour or corn. And it is a direct assault to the cholesterol in your veins. It really is. Pum pum. That I can do. But it is one of the most delicious things you can order at a restaurant, or you can make it at home. It's very easy to make it using the microwave or using a cast iron pan at home, or a non-stick pan. So this is queso Chihuahua. I am sorry that my computer is acting up and I cannot show you photographs today, and you have to look at me for the entirety of our broadcast. I'll see what's going on, and I'll make sure that I rectify this by tomorrow. Let us now see what you bring to the conversation this morning. Boom, 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 boom. Glenn is in Corona, California, and is looking forward to being here in a month. That is super awesome. Let's see what else we have. We have many good mornings, which I appreciate. Well, that's a good question, Logan. I already know what tree I want to adopt. Where do I sign up? Well, what tree do you want to adopt, Logan? Do let us know. And again, I'll keep looking, because this is such an important thing to do, to adopt a tree, and how nice that the city is making this happen. Let's see what else we have. Oh, we are adopting baby trees because I want to adopt an elder tree. I'm sure that can be done. I just don't know of a particular agency that is doing that. Um, if it is a money tree, please see if they have a second one for me. I love that. I do know that they're looking at specific species that do well in our climate. So I don't know exactly, I don't know much about trees, I must say. Let's see what else we have. There are a lot of mayates in Guadalajara. Oh, yes, there are. And there are a few insects as well. And that was dirty. But yes, there's a lot of mayates everywhere, wherever and whenever it rains. Let's see what else we have. Devin just says, sounds good to me. Queso. Well, cheese is this heavenly thing. I cannot ever be at home without cheese. Although I know that I sometimes eat too much of it and it shows, but cheese is wonderful. What can I tell you? The cheese sounds wonderful. I think that I have had it. Again, if you've ordered quesadillas at a restaurant, if you've ordered chiles rellenos, if you've ordered queso fundido or melted cheese, chances are you've tried queso Chihuahua. Queso Chihuahua is great for casseroles as well, because if you do a casserole with tortillas and chicken and layered cheese and all that good stuff, oh, I'm getting hungry. I really am. Love those yellow flower trees. When we were there in April, yes, that is the time in which the yellow flower trees bloom. And I think this is what I have for you. Yes, today is Wednesday, so I'll be at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work this afternoon to record spotlight interviews. As you know, we do this every Wednesday, so if you're out and about and you wish to stop by and say hello, you're more than welcome to do that. I also have a couple of other missions, including buying cheese at Mercado Emiliano Zapata. I am hoping that the cheese lady is going to be there today, so I will see what I can find. And this brings us to the end of today's Coffee and Headlines. I'm sorry I was not able to show you any pretty pictures today, but I was able to share the news that I have prepared for you, and that makes me very happy. Tomorrow, we'll be back here, hopefully with a better connection with my secondary monitor, and we'll be here with more news, more headlines, more stories. And between now and then, and always, I thank you for your ongoing support for everything that we bring to the table. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning. Take care.